So the plan was to have a fun and easy trad climbing day.
Don't know if I'm having fun yet.
But of course, that went completely off the rails right from the start.
Whoa.
What was supposed to be a chill day, learning to place trad gear on lead, turned into a complete Gumby disaster.
Okay. I'm not sure I had my head on straight for that yet.
Honestly, I'm kind of getting used to it by now, but come along with me for another dumb adventure.
In the lens.
There we go.
I was sitting waiting for Riley to pick me up, and he was already 20 minutes late. Riley's a little late, as usual, but I didn't really mind because it was so chilly outside. The forecast is cloudy, so we're going to be dressed to be warm. Finally, Riley showed up, and we got to the crag. Now, we had only been to Nemo once before last year, and it was just a quick sport climbing day, so I really didn't know my way around very well yet, and we probably should have spent a little more time looking at the guidebook, because our hike in, we took a wrong turn and ended up going about 2 kilometers in the complete wrong direction before we realized the cliff was getting pretty short. So we backtracked a little bit.
I think we found where we need to go almost. It's the top of our first climb. But apparently there's a climb down over here.
And we made our way to our first climb of the day.
Look at that. Look at that.
Now, I was super stoked to get on this route. I taped up my hands, I loaded up all my gear, and I took a look at the route, and now it did look a little dirty and overgrown, and maybe like nobody's been on it for a little while. But I thought, hey, we came for an adventure, let's go for it. But right away, it started getting sketchy because as I'm reaching in to put my placements and to put my my hands and my feet, everything's covered in like a dry layer of dust and dirt. I'm literally like sweeping leaves off of the ledges and trying to get my equipment in there. I was starting to feel okay about it.
Got such a sick hand jamming right now. Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
But as I looked up after about 20 feet of climbing, I saw that it kind of got steeper and dirtier.
It's so dirty, dude. Look, man.
Do you want to like not do this one?
I don't know yet.
If you're in down climb range.
Yeah, you're right.
Turns out he had gotten in his head watching me climb it. He was like, I don't want to go on this dirty adventure either. So he threw that option up to me to down climb it. So I did. And it was actually good practice because we were able to safely down climb, pull all the gear on the way down, and move on.
Well,
5 stars when it's clean.
I guess that's how climbing goes. Next.
Yeah, it sucks.
So next we had to find another climb, but we actually decided to go check out this 5-0 after bailing on the 5-3. It seemed nice and clean, so we were ready to give it a shot. So the first half of this climb I actually felt pretty solid, and I did a lot of gear placements, which was great because it was the whole point of the day, was to kind of build up some confidence on lead.
All right.
I started getting hesitant as we moved to the middle of the climb where I had to kind of shuffle out and get into this chimney. To make matters worse, an experienced climber showed up at the same time.
I think it's right beside us here.
And if you're like me, nothing's worse than when you're flailing around to have someone who's actually a lot better than you just show up and kind of stare and watch.
Are you leading on solo on gear? Nice. Pretty fun, eh? I'm scared on the 5-0, dude.
But I took it as an opportunity to chat a little bit and get myself reset. I shook it off, talked myself into it, and decided I was going to top this one out. There was no way I was going to fail 2 climbs in a row. So I squeezed myself into the chimney.
All right, I got a sick crack here.
One more good gear placement. And then I made my way to the top. Now the top was kind of weird. It came out and it was all ledgy and blocky and full of tree roots and then topped out, but there was no anchors. Feeling a little lost how I was going to get back down. So I looked around for a little bit and I was able to spot a couple of rappel rings, maybe 8-10 feet to the left.
Oh boy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, everything's holding, no?
So after that, we were feeling kind of confident. I had just sent a climb, so I decided to grab the next one on my list. This was supposed to be like a 5.7 or 5.5, I don't know, depending on how you worked it, but it felt like it was going to be a good go, and it did. The first half of the climb felt pretty good, got to practice a lot more gear placements, and it felt awesome. But then I got up to an area where, to move on, I had to commit to moving into the unknown. And what I mean about that is, like, you couldn't see where the route was going. You couldn't see it from the ground, and I definitely couldn't see it from the spot I was in. So my brain just wouldn't do it. It was like sick of it. My arm was pumped out, tired, and I actually decided to lower off the gear, which was a good experience too, to trust the gear and have myself lowered. So we actually had to pack up our ropes, scramble our way up to the top of the cliff, rappel in off the top, and collect our gear on the way down. And at least we didn't lose any gear. You know, at first when we were driving home, the day kind of felt like a failure. The more I think about it, the more it was like, that's exactly what was bound to happen. We don't know what we're doing really on trad gear yet, but we set out to have an easy day. Of course it was going to go off the rails, but we did get to place a ton of gear and get into some situations where we had to judge our own personal safety and make some smart moves. So all in all, it was a pretty fun learning day, even if we didn't accomplish much climbing. I'm curious, I can't be alone here. Have you ever had a disaster at the cliff, an epic day where everything kind of went wrong? I'll have to say that's got to be the most exhausting day I've had of rock climbing, where I only accomplished sending 150. But really, I want to know from you, if you're an Ontario trad climber, what should we do next? Where is the good, easy stuff that we can kind of go practice on, run some laps, and build our skills up so we're ready for the next adventure? Thanks a lot for joining me on the channel. Hope you're enjoying Jeff's Dumb Adventures. And if you want some more of this, hit the subscribe button or watch this video next.